Plaintiff Erica Carradine first met the defendant when she realized they were sleeping with the same man. And that's when she discovered the defendant was pregnant. Erica claims after the baby was born, she and the defendant got in a fight. And she's suing her today because she claims the defendant filed a false restraining order against her. Defendant Nicole Dillard insists Erica knew about her when Erica started sleeping with Nicole's man, and also knew that Nicole was pregnant with his baby. Nicole admits that she filed a restraining order against Erica, but she claims it was because Erica came to her place of employment to harass her. Nicole's countersuing for harassment and emotional distress.
All rise. This court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Greg Mathis presiding. You may now be seated.
Start with you.
I only know of Nicole because her son's father, Landon, chose to have multiple relationships outside of her pregnancy. I met Landon June.
Were you one of them?
Yes.
Okay.
I met Landon June of last year.
How do you know he chose to have multiple?
Because 3 weeks into our relationship, her cousin crashed his car because he was sleeping with her cousin.
Okay.
So
did you end the relationship then, or?
We had just got together.
Okay, so you continued.
Yes.
All right, knowing that there were multiple relationships.
Okay, when he met me, we was in a relationship, and like the cousin crashed the car, so they wasn't together anymore, but the cousin seen him in traffic and crashed the car. Okay. But we were begun dating.
So when you all began dating, he stopped all of his relationships.
Yeah.
Sounds like you're unsure, but go ahead.
So everything was cool. He told me he had 2 daughters. That was fine because I have children, and he reassured me that the relationship was stable. So he never really mentioned her at all to me during her pregnancy. In fact, when I found out about her, my friend told me that, "Are you hollering at Landon? Oh, he has a baby on the way." So I called, asked Landon. He said that it was a possibility that the baby was his. So as of a possibility, I kept seeing him. Mm-hmm. So everything was fine. Then she had the baby in January. We stayed in contact while she was in delivery. We did the text message thing or whatever. And after she had the baby, he came over to the house and we discussed that it was fine that he spent that night with her at the hospital for support, but he knew where to be the next night after that. So
and that was with you, obviously.
Correct.
All right.
He was there all the time. Mm-hmm. So in February, he called me up, "Hey, baby, my mom's going to start babysitting my son for babysitting checks." So I said, "Okay, fine, that's cool." So I was going to take him to work like I've been doing for the past 10 months before he just got another vehicle this year. I went to his house to pick him up, and I was parked in front of his house, and Miss Dillard came from the parents' home down to his house. I stayed in the car. She jumped out. She called me out my name. She told me she had sex with him in my car. So we kind of like argued back and forth. Landon had a friend come pick him up. So he jumped in the car with his homeboy. Yeah, and left both of us there. So she's like following up behind him, talking to the back of his neck, like, tell her. But he didn't tell me anything. But I did request my house keys back from him in front of her. So I left, he left, and I don't know what she did, but I seen her going up the street, and I decided as a woman just to talk to her without him, since he ran like a coward. Maybe we could pull our cars over and talk about it without.
You followed her?
I seen her, I followed her, yes. But I didn't mean for it to be like a chase. I was on the phone with my sister, like, Nikki, pull over. Well, she was speeding, so I was trying to keep up with her.
So you were chasing. That is a chase. When someone speeds and you try to catch up with the speeding person, the only way you can do that is to chase them.
Okay, I chased her to talk to her like a woman, but she never did want to pull over to talk about the situation, because if she would have had anything in her phone, like text messages.
Situation spoke for itself. What was there to talk about?
Because he was trying to play Both of us.
Right. So, as you just said, it spoke for itself. There's nothing else to discuss. We got a man who's playing both of us, and he just ran when we caught him.
Right, you're right.
Nothing else to discuss. Let me know the background on this from your perspective.
My child's father and her were seeing each other periodically. She did know that I was pregnant. My first time knowing about Erica was in October. I was 7 months pregnant. Him and I had a confrontation, so I went to his job where he works to discuss it with him because he was ignoring my calls, not answering the phone. She then pulled up to the place of business. She put her window down. I noticed it was a female. I did ask someone, why was she there? Who was that was? They said, oh.
Why did you ask her that?
I didn't ask her. I asked someone else. I was curious.
Why?
Because I was 7 months pregnant. I see a female. Okay.
So every female that you saw during your pregnancy, you asked who they were?
Yes.
No.
Yep.
But I just asked. I was curious.
Why?
I don't know. But he just explained to me, if someone comes down here. Okay. I said, whatever. I was at his house a few weeks later, and she began driving up and down the street, going back and forth from corner to corner. I then knew, okay, something is going on between you and this girl because she wouldn't be riding by for no apparent reason.
It sounds like you have pretty good intuition, quite frankly.
Right. Yeah. And our first altercation was a verbal altercation. It was January 5th of 2009. I was on my way to my ultrasound. I was 9 months pregnant. Me and my witness that is here with me today were on our way to the ultrasound. We were driving down the street. The plaintiff was in the left lane, but she was a few cars behind. She then maneuvered her way through the cars just to get on the side of me. She then put her window down and proceeded the argument. And me, I put my window down and I got to arguing as well. But my witness told me, Nikki, you're pregnant. She's not worth it. Just gone. So I went on and I left. Then we had another altercation that she was referring to was the 23rd of February. My first day back to work, I was dropping my baby off at his mother's house, which is his grandmother. And I did see her down at his home. I went to him because we were together. I questioned him. She was in her vehicle. I questioned him, asked him, what's going on? Why is she here? She then got out her car, came to my vehicle and asked me, she said, Nikki, I don't have a problem with you. I then told her, this has nothing to do with her. I'm talking to him. I mean, I'm not going to fault her because he obviously lying to both of us. So then she got upset. He then told her, I'm done with you. I want to work it out with my son.
Was that before or after he ran?
He didn't run.
Your Honor.
He didn't run.
What did he do?
He didn't run.
What did he do?
He stood there. He grabbed me. He put me back in my vehicle. He tried to put me back in the vehicle. Nikki, go ahead and leave. His father then came down the street and asked me, Nikki, just gonna leave. Go ahead, go to work. I was upset.
You got in the car and she chased you? Is that true?
I got in the car, and then after that, I hadn't seen her anymore.
Sounds like you all have a lot of mutual arguing here. So the defamation, why are you suing her for defamation?
I went to Great Giant to buy some oxtails because I was cooking. They got the best meat in Flint. I didn't even know where she worked at because the day we got into it. There? Yes.
And then what happened?
I just went there and I caught my groceries and I left.
So why are you telling me about that?
Because the next
what's wrong with buying groceries?
That's what I'm saying, Your Honor. I went there to buy groceries and I left. But the next day,
you're not alleging that she did anything.
The next day, I got a PPO order served saying that Ms. Diller said I came to her job and police wasn't contacted because management made me leave.
Okay. And what was the result of that?
The result is I have the PPO order.
Yeah. Wasn't there a hearing that occurred after the emergency order?
No, it was just signed on her behalf.
Right, but there's a hearing that occurs later to determine whether it is legitimate and whether it should be permanent or lifted.
I filed a motion and he won't lift it, terminate it, or modify it.
So there was a hearing. She got the PPO, and now why are you suing her for defamation?
Because the letter says that I never went to their place of business and did anything out of the ordinary. It's the letter from her job where she works at.
Your Honor, may I respond to that?
You have that letter? You handed me that letter?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
I do have statements from 2 of my managers who says where they made me leave the sales area.
Let's see your letter.
Let's
see your letter. And your defamation is based on her telling the judge that you did something that you didn't?
Yeah, she keeps showing up in court.
Unfortunately, ma'am, anything said in court is protected, and you can't sue for defamation. It's privilege. You can, because the judge is supposed to keep those transcripts until the end of the case. So you can't sue her for something said in court to a judge. The judge can determine that you're lying and charge you with perjury. Did he do that?
No, sir.
Did you tell the judge?
I keep fighting. He wouldn't even read the letter. We went to court the 27th. He didn't want to look at it.
Your counterclaim for harassment and emotional distress is for what?
Okay, her coming up to my job. Now, like I said, the letter that you have is because she's suing my employer for $10,000, saying that she comes into her at my job, spending $200-300 a month. Ms. Caradine has never came into my job until she saw that I worked there. I've been there for 6 years. That letter is just stating that they didn't.
It states that she was never asked to leave the store.
Right, and that's what he said. That he responded to the lawsuit because she's trying to sue them for $10,000. And the harassment, you come into my job, like I said.
Are you saying he asked you to leave the store or not?
No.
Okay. So you're saying you were never asked to leave the store?
Correct.
And he's saying she was never asked to leave the store.
And what I was
so I'm going to believe him. Ma'am, I'm going to believe him. Both your cases are dismissed. This is a mutual argument and mutual emotional distress and harassment based on a man who's coward enough to run.
Okay, that's fine.
Have a good day. Cases are dismissed.
Right. Basically, just trying to take care of our child together. I mean, we have a 6-month-old. He needs his mother and father. It's nothing like that. We just asked if this girl would leave me alone. I don't think anything's happened between those two. She's dealing with a friend of his now.
We're still sleeping together, even though I sued her and she has the PPO order. We're still sleeping together, so it doesn't really matter.